Hi kids, I'm Storytime Pup, and welcome to the Storytime Pup Show. I'm so glad you came by to play. I love when my friends come by to play, and you're one of my friends. Are you ready to have fun? Let's see what we're going to do today. Magic marker, show us what we're going to do today. Yay! It's storybook time! We love storybook time! Today I'll be reading A Wolf Pup's Tale, written by Rachel Yu. A little wolf pup stood looking through the fence that surrounded the reservation. With a wag of his gray, scruffy tail, he pressed his damp nose up against the metal links. His mother nudged him gently and said, "Move along, Rugmo. We should be going to the den." Rugmo looked up at her and asked, "But what is out there?" "Nothing a wolf needs, Rugmo," answered his mother. They began walking. Rugmo tailed behind his brothers and sisters, who were eager to return home. Rugmo followed slowly. His big brown eyes looked longingly at the fence as he went. Curiosity grew inside him. He had never left the reservation before. What was beyond that fence? Suddenly, Rugmo's slow crawl stopped. He noticed a small rip in the fence, just big enough for a pup to wiggle through. Rugmo felt a tingle of excitement start in his tail. His fur bristled with the chance of exploration. Looking quickly to both sides, he slipped quickly over to the opening. Wiggling and jiggling, Rugmo squeezed through. He shook with anticipation. "I'm out," he thought. Trotting through the bushes, Rugmo felt independent and excited. Rugmo trotted for a while in the warm sun until he came to a black road. He bent down and sniffed loudly, but stopped quickly because of the sour milk and dead animal smell that covered the road. All of a sudden, a car came rolling by. Rugmo jumped back and barked loudly. What sort of creature was that? It blinded him with some black smoke, causing him to choke and sputter. He had never seen a car before. When it was gone, Rugmo carefully crossed the road, keeping an eye out for any more of those monstrous beasts. Once Rugmo had passed the road, he came to the edge of a town. He picked up the scent of many unfamiliar things. Whether these were friendly or not, he didn't know or cared. All he was concerned about was the grumbling coming from his tummy. Rugmo was hungry, so hungry that he scavenged a few measly berries from some bushes. With berry juice oozing out of the corner of his mouth, he chewed with distaste. He preferred meat. Swallowing, Rugmo spoke out loud. "I wonder where I am." "You're at Lakeside Town, Buster," a screechy voice said. Surprised and startled, Rugmo jumped and looked around. Perched on a slender tree was a large hawk. "Did you say that?" Rugmo asked nervously. "Of course I did. Who else is here?" the hawk said, sounding annoyed. Rugmo's stomach growled again. "Do you know where I can find some food?" Rugmo asked. "Sure I do. I just caught myself a tasty bounty, Runt," the hawk said. He could tell that the little fuzzy fur ball was not from around there. With this, the hawk flew down, carrying a fish that he had snatched from the lake. They shared it while Rugmo introduced himself. "So you're Rugmo. I'm Redtail. I don't meet a lot of folks, so it's always nice to have a visitor." "Do you live here?" Rugmo asked as he looked around at the cluster of trees and bushes. In the distance, there was a sparkling blue lake. "Yep, it's quiet enough, and there are plenty of fish," Redtail said. "I just escaped from the reservation. You see, I'm on an adventure," Rugmo stated. "None of my family has ever been out in the real world before." "What's a reservation, kid?" asked Redtail. Rugmo answered while scratching his ear with his paw. "I don't know. My mom says it's a safe place for wolves to live, that's all. But to me, it's awfully boring. That's why I left. Wait till my brothers and sisters hear about this." "You got a lot of brothers and sisters?" Redtail asked. "Oh yeah, 6 of us in the whole litter, but I was born first. They can be kind of annoying sometimes, but I suppose they're all right." "Do you have any brothers and sisters?" Rugmo questioned curiously. Redtail shook his head sadly. "Nope, we hawks fly solo, pup." "It must be kind of lonely," said Rugmo, stifling a yawn. For a moment, he longed for the warmth of his siblings and the comfort of the den. "That's a hawk's life," Redtail responded, while bending forward to pluck a grasshopper in his beak. "By the way, you look pretty worn out. You can sleep here if you like." "Thanks, Redtail," Rugmo said as he yawned. Rugmo made himself a comfortable bed of the fallen leaves and curled up for some much-needed rest. Before he dozed off, he thought to himself, "Boy, if only my brothers and sisters could see me now." Suddenly, Rugmo awoke and felt as if he was being bumped around like a boat on a windy day. He was in a net. What happened to Redtail? Looking up, Rugmo saw a grubby-looking man in a blue uniform that looked tattered. Clawing at the net, Rugmo growled, "Be quiet, Pooch. Don't make me get the sleeper," the man said in a dangerous voice. Rugmo whimpered a little and tried to see where he was. He knew it was early because the sun was just rising up over the lake. "I should have parked the van closer. Gotta walk through the bushes to get to it," the man grumbled. Rugmo was scared but thought, "How do I get out of this?" The man continued his grumble. "I don't get paid enough to do this smelly job. Stop wriggling around, Pooch. I said stop." The man gripped the net and shook it roughly. Farther away, Rugmo heard a bird squawking wildly. He knew that shrill voice. "Hey kid, play dead! Play dead!" Rugmo felt confused. What did Redtail mean by playing dead? Then suddenly a light bulb lit up in his head, and his body went limp. "Pooch! Hey, you flea carrier! Wake up!" the man shouted loudly. He poked the bag and muttered, "I might as well dump it in the black bag, or maybe I should just drop it. No, this thing would smell up my place. Rats, I'll have to get the bag." The man had found his van. It looked like a tin can with dents all over it. On the side, in black paint, it read, "Dog Catcher." The man now was trying to find the black bag. There were so many nets, poles, straps, and other things lying cluttered in the van. Finally, he pulled it out from under a pile of kennel cages. The bag reeked like rotten eggs. He opened it and held the net upside down. Instead of dropping like a potato, Rugmo leapt over the black bag and made a wild dash for freedom. "Get back here, you rotten mangy hound," the man said in a tone that frightened poor Rugmo as he ran after the little wolf pup. He pulled an object out of his belt. The sleeper, Rugmo thought. The man was faster than Rugmo had anticipated. Rugmo screeched to a halt, turning around and dove straight through the man's legs. He passed the man, past the van, and leapt into a thicket of bushes. Rugmo quivered in his hiding spot. The man pulled the trigger and a dart flew out. He missed. Rugmo felt relieved, but the hairs on the back of his neck were still standing. The man aimed again, this time pointing right at the bush Rugmo was behind. "I guess this is the end," Rugmo thought. He closed his eyes. He waited and waited and waited. Rugmo opened his eyes in surprise. The man was screaming in disgust. Something slimy was dripping down his face. A shining fish was perched on top of the man's head like a silver crown. Overhead, a dark shape was circling. It was Redtail. "Run, kid, run! Use those stubby legs of yours! Move it! Redtail shrieked. Rugmo froze for 1 second, and at Redtail's urging, he burst out of the bushes. He ran and ran and ran, not even sure where he was going. He just kept running, and by some miracle... There it was! He knew that tree! He knew that stone! He recognized the smell! Even the sounds were familiar! He saw it! The ripped fence he'd escaped from! He nearly wept with joy, but managed to control himself. Grinning happily, he squeezed through the fence. Rugmo raced to his den thinking, "I've been on the other side and survived to tell the tale. I met a hawk, and not just any hawk. I escaped from a man who smells like he's never ever took a bath. Wait until I tell my brothers and sisters. They'll be so jealous, and Ma and Pa won't believe it." A handsome gray wolf in his prime, walking along a stumbly, scruffy-looking pup. The pup paused in his tripping to stare at the metal fence before him. "Hey, Dad!" The pup started to speak, peering up at his father. "What's beyond that fence?" Rugmo looked down at his son and spoke. "Nothing a wolf needs, Redtail." The pup reluctantly followed his father away from the fence. However, when he knew the pup could not see him, Rugmo allowed himself a small smile. The end. A great big thank you to Rachel Yu for that great book, A Wolf Pup's Tale. You can read more about Rachel Yu and her books in the description below. Wasn't that great? I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click on the thumbs up button below. Moms, dads, and adults, please leave your and your children's comments below. This way we know what shows you like, so we can make more of them. There's one more thing that we always do at the end of every show. Magic glasses. Magic glasses lets me see some of my friends who came to play. Maybe I'll see you today. Magic glasses, that's the way. Show me my friends who came to play. Okay, now everyone smile and wave and let me see if I see you. I see Zara and Ainsley and Patricia. Oh, there's Walter and there's Louie, Todd. Well, hi, Lance. I see Sawyer, Grayson, Juanita, and Charles. There's Kyle and Carrie and Barbie and Elizabeth. I see all my friends waving at me. Did I see you today? If not, maybe I'll see you next time. Make sure you check back soon, because we'll be adding a bunch of new shows every week. Make sure you have an adult. Click on the subscribe button right here. That way you won't miss any of the fun. Moms and dads, make sure you visit the Storytime Pup website to sign up for our great free giveaways. We have giveaways for books, CDs, DVDs, t-shirts, and other great stuff. Sign up just once, and you'll have a chance for all the drawings to come. And kids, don't forget to tell your friends about Storytime Pup. And before I go, here's a great big hug for all my friends. Thanks for stopping by to play. I'll see you real soon. Bye now.